All right, so welcome back. This is the next video. In the first video, my I selected to develop the cheat tree. I've also selected to build some Ashigaru units, archers as well as spearmen, and I also elected to build the horse breeders. Right. So now it's time to. Oh, the one thing I didn't do is I didn't actually commence trading. So trade
Let me listen to
diplomacy.
your
That's the other
and
resource
answer
I
as
couldn't remember.
best I may.
But diplomacy is something you're going to want to develop, and you can develop diplomacy in only a few ways. You can increase your dynamo's honor. You can also select diplomacy in the cheat tree. Those are some of the ways that you can build up your diplomacy. So I'm going to just trade. I need to trade to produce income for my clan. So you do that by just selecting the clan and that you want to trade with. You
My
select trade.
friend, I'm ready to
So right now I can trade with two people.
welcome,
And
noble
like I said, I
friend.
just and the way
Let
you
us
know that you can trade is that this icon. When you look at this little icon here, you can see the difference between these two icons. One looks like it just has like a little stack of gold by it. I don't even know what these icons are supposed to represent, but it's a pretty horrible icon, and it's really easy to not notice that you have a trading opportunity, right? So when you see this icon, you click on it, and then you're able to trade. You can also trade by sea. We'll get into that later, but the icon is going to look like this, except it doesn't have a red line in between it. So when I click this icon, I can select enter negotiations, and then I'm
a
going to
friend is
select
always
request
welcome,
trade.
especially in these times of trouble.
There's some
Come,
other
let us talk.
nuances in trading, right? You can elect to ask for money, right? And you can elect to demand money. I'm sorry, that's the same thing. You can elect to demand money or ask for money, or you can elect to offer money so that you can affect the trade. And we're not going to get into that now. It's a little too early in the game, but you'll see most of the times I always ask for money. And there are people that I try to trade with. There's people that I try to avoid trading with. Uh, the people that I try to avoid trading with, that's going to be towards the middle of the game. Let me just go ahead and effect this trade now so we
A
can get into it
proposal
later.
as straight and true.
So, I'm sorry. The clans that I try to avoid trading with are clans that are growing increasingly powerful. And the way I gauge that is that I'll look at the map and I'll see who has taken over more territory than the next clan. And my thinking is that the clan you trade with is the clan you make stronger, right? You're giving them an additional source of income, so when you trade with them, they're going to benefit from that trade. So I will, if a clan is getting too powerful, I'll try to avoid trading with them if possible, unless I really need the income. I'll also try to disrupt that clan's trading by selecting their trading partners and paying them to break off trade agreements, right? So that's it for that. Let me just go ahead and end the turn. So I would have actually pulled my Daimon back early in the game to protect him, but in this situation, I knew that I know pretty much what's going to happen. All I have to do is just select retreat, and then this Diamond always retreats as well. I believe the reason that he does that is because he doesn't want to overexpose himself, because if he knows if he
Ideal
follows
for
me to
wit.
attack
Yari ashigaru.
and he attacks whether successfully or unsuccessfully, he's going to overextend himself, and then he's going to be close enough that I could retaliate with my garrison troops, right? So far I have three Ashigaru units, so I am going to build more, of course. Let's see here. We're going to go with some spear Ashigaru and one bow. we are also going to try to increase our income. I'm going to go ahead and select rice prep patties. And the reason I'm going to select rice patty is because I'm going to get 750 wealth from this province, and I'm going to get food from this province. The food is going to be necessary when you want to upgrade and when you want to train more troops. So I'm going to select that. That takes me down to about 137 gold. I'm also going to advance. Let's see here. I'm also going to advance the few troops that I do have, and I'm going to merge it with my daimon. And actually, I think I have enough to attack now because I have him slightly outnumbered, except he has. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, I have enough to overwhelm him. He has one, two, three, four Ashikaru units, and I have one, two, three, four, five, six. You know what? I'll wait. I'll wait till next turn to make my attack because I think one of the things you have to notice is how well rested your troops are, or not rested, but you can see that there is this capacity bar at the bottom of my Ashikaru unit, and it's at half capacity for some, and for others it's about 80%. So I want to make sure I have him overwhelmed in numbers. So I'm just going to go ahead and end my turn. Okay. So now at this point in time, I am studying Zen Buddhism. That is going to be really effective once it's completed. And I'll get into why a little bit later. But right now, I'm just going to try to sack his castle, so to speak, and I am going to siege it. I'm going to siege it, and I'm also going to reimburse my troops with more Ashigaru units. So I'm just going to let the siege run. And another thing I like to do with my agent, in this case the Metsuke. Metsuke is basically the police. I'm going to send him into enemy territory just to kind of scout and see what's going on. What else can I do? I'm also going to choose to start building my harbor. The harbor is going to be important when it comes down to trading and producing income, and we'll get into that in the next turn. All right, so you can see that this guy is still under siege. I could just go ahead and try to, let's see here. I could go ahead and just try to auto resolve this conflict. I'm just going to siege a little bit longer. I think I have him outnumbered. I have 1,600 troops. He has 1,000 troops. So I'm just going to let the siege run. And what else can we do here? I would spend some resources to develop something else, but for right now, I'm just going to let my income build up so that I can use it to pay for something else down the line. And I'm just going to end the turn again here. So he's attempted to break the siege, and when they do that, they let you know what your chances are of winning the conflict. And typically, if you're over half, or if you have 50, what is it, strength of your force? If the strength of your force is over 50%, I typically just choose an auto resolve. Okay, so now that I've auto resolved that conflict, I'm going to go ahead and choose siege. He's only have 126 troops. I'm going to go ahead and basically my strength of the opposing forces. I'm sorry, is under what is that 25%. So it's going to be an easy win. I'm just going to go ahead and click auto resolve. And anytime you conquer a province, you get the option to occupy peacefully, or you get the option to loot. If you loot, you're going to create a public disorder, and it says looting will damage all buildings within the castle town and will have a negative effect on the daimo's honor. I'm just going to occupy peacefully, and when you click on that province, you double click it, you'll see how the public order is. And a lot of times, if I choose to loot the province, I'll try to have a Metsuke in place. Metsuke is basically the police. And once you apply it, typically it increases your public order, right? In this case, it really didn't do much. Uh, repairing repairing towns will also increase, or repairing damages to towns in the province will also increase the public order. So I'm going to repair that right away. Typically, you want to repair or destroy any towns or build any infrastructure right away. So now I can start to build ships, and I'm also going to elect to build a trading port. Again, you want to establish income early in the game. A trading port is going to help me do that because it's going to give me the ability to trade with other provinces. So I'm going to go ahead and trade. We'll build the trading port. And another thing that's happened is that I now have the ability to trade with a new clan. I'm going to go ahead and trade. I'm
Say
also
what
going
you
to ask this
must,
clan
but
to
my heart
pay
tells me
pay
not
me
to
money to trade
receive
with me,
hope.
and they're agreeing to pay. So initially, I started off at $1,000, and then I'll increase it to see how much they're willing to pay. And in this case, they're only willing to pay $1,000, 1,000 gold, if you will. So I'm going to be happy with that because it's pretty good for early on in the game. So I just gained an extra 1,000 gold, and at this point, I'm just going to build a few more troops to strengthen my army because now I have two provinces that I want to defend or be in the position to defend. At this point, you really need to be careful because you don't want to exhaust all your resources, right? So, and I'm also going to end this video, and then I'll see you back in the next video.